5 people were shot and critically injured during a drive-by shooting in Louisiana on Sunday evening.
You see the prophets out here with the gospel, you think that we playing or something, You see the army and yeah, we the sons of God and we stand for something. Israel, Prince to have power with God and man prevail. You know that Israel the flex on them. Jesus ain't mad cause I know why they raging. They know the most high God. So step on them, 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 yeah, step on them, yeah, step on them, 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 yeah, step on them, step on them, yeah, step on them, yeah, step on them, step on them, step on them, step on them, step on them. Step on him, step on his arms, step on his legs, step on his chest, step on his head. Let me just beat him in back of the head and remind him about all of the things that he did. How that man did me in front of my children.
I'm gonna prove it to you, man, because a lot of people say it, but a lot of people don't really know. But I'm gonna prove it to you straight out the scriptures. Read what you got.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants.
So, the root word in Revelation is what, big bro? Because we're reading the book of Revelation. What does revelation mean, you know? Revelation means to reveal. Because it's already prophesied when you read the scriptures that somebody was going to come and they was going to change all the images of the real people of the Bible and make images that look like them. So watch this. Read what you got. Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So I want you to pay attention to these two signs right here. So it says his head. It's talking about the hair on top of his head. And the hair on his face was what?
Were white like wool.
They were white in color, but woolly in texture. Which one of those images right there had white woolly hair? Which one? Oh, up here? Same as that one over there. Okay. What about this guy? They say this Jesus in the store, in the grocery store, in the magazine. Do he have woolly hair? What is it white? But what nation of people have woolly hair on the earth? Out of all the people that God created, who hair looks like a sheep's hair? Who? You said white people? White people got hair look like a sheep? Look at my hair right now. That's like sheep hair. It's woolly. It's so-called nappy. Who got hair like that? Us, right? White people don't have that kind of hair. But keep going.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So that's strike one. He's the person that really looks like Jesus Christ has white and woolly hair like a so-called Negro. Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
But Jesus Christ's eyes look like a flame of fire. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture right here. What color are his eyes? They blue, right? Most of the pictures you see, they look like blue eyes and stuff, right? But Jesus Christ had red eyes, according to the scripture. But why? Get what you got, Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
So Jesus Christ, when he walked the earth, he was drinking a lot of wine, but in moderation. It's not a sin to drink any alcohol. The sin is when you get drunk. That's when you see winos walking up and down the street, want to rob you and want to fight you, right? Jesus Christ wasn't doing that, but he had red eyes. So that guy don't have red eyes or woolly hair, right? So let's keep going.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Jesus Christ's feet look like fine brass. What color is brass? I got a piece of brass on my wrist right now. Not this part, but this part. What color is that? Yeah, a shade of brown, right? It almost looked like my hand. You see that part right there? It almost the same color as my skin, right? Let's see how dark though. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Jesus Christ was so dark brown, he looked like he had been burnt in a furnace. He was very dark. So what did we just describe to you? A white man or a black man? We just described a black man, right? So watch this, Jeremiah 14:2. Or either Song of Solomon 1 and 5, whichever comes first. I'm going to show you the rest of Jews, because Christ was a Jew, right? Why don't you look at this sign right here? What do you see yourself on there, your dad? What would his nationality be if he put in a job application? What would he put? Would he put so-called, would he could put this on an application? Like black, African American, something like that? So, your so-called father would be from the tribe of Judah, the same tribe that Jesus Christ came from. So the so-called tribe of Judah looks like black people, but I'm going to prove it to you. Jeremiah 14:2. Watch this. This is what the Jews look like.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth.
So right now, we're reading about Judah, right? Remember the first name on that sign, Judah. Read.
And the gates thereof languish. They are black.
What color are the Jews?
They are black.
The Jews, according to the Bible, are black people.
That's right.
Read it again.
They are black unto the ground.
Black into the ground, meaning we're all different shades of brown, right? We're not the same shade, but we the same people. You understand that? Song of Solomon 1 and 5. One more. Watch this.
The book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Now we're about to read about King David's son, one of the wisest men that ever walked the face of the earth. Let's see what he looked like.
I am black, but comely.
Wait, read it again.
Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black, but comely.
King Solomon said, I'm black and handsome. You ever heard a black man say they black, or a black woman say they black and beautiful, right? Black people say that. But he said, I'm black and handsome. Comely means handsome. So we just described a black man, right? All the disciples and apostles and prophets were black people. What about Adam, the first man that was ever created? What you think he looked like? You've seen magazines and they show you white people and they say that this is Adam and that was God and they all look white, right? They wear little thin sheets and they almost butt naked, finna touch fingertips. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you what he looked like though. Read what you got.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
When God made the first man, Adam, he made him out of the dust of the ground. Now I want you to look at the dust of the ground. Not the grass on the ground, but the dust of the ground. What color is it? It's different shades of brown, just like us standing here. He made the first man of color. Years later, the first Caucasian, the first person that looked different, he came about. His name was Esau, according to the Bible. But Deuteronomy 7:6. Watch this. So, why you think they hid that from us? That Christ looked like a black man and that all the people of the Bible were black people. Why you think they hid that from us? What would benefit them to hide that? I'm gonna show you why. Because once again, they programmed us to hate one another because we don't know that we come from royalty. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know that we're gods on the earth. So we'll smoke a cigarette. We'll put blonde hair in our head. We'll do anything according to what God tells us not to do, right? So watch this. I'm gonna show you how God feel about you. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So the Israelites, the people on that sign right there, you come from that top tribe. You're from Judah. He says you're what?
A holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Holy just means you're separate. You're not made like everybody else. You understand that? That's for instance, you watch sports, anything like that? What you watch? Basketball? Who's the most dominant race in basketball? White people? Who? You said black people? You sure it ain't white people? Black people, right? You watch it to see them. This is the same thing that was going on during the time of the Greeks. They used to have us being gladiators. They used to love to see us fight and play sports because we was off the chain back then. But read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So did it just say that we're above, that we're equal to all people on the face of the earth? What did it just say? We're above all people on the face of the earth. Now, take a look at us. Look at where we at right now. Is this place that we're standing in, is it above all the places that's on the earth? Where you think it fit in at? If you had to rank where we're standing at right now, the neighborhood that we're standing in, is it a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood? You say probably a good neighborhood? Hey man, this is a war zone, man. Hey, it can go down at any moment right here. This ain't a good spot, man, at all. You see these abandoned buildings and stuff behind us, a liquor store in every corner? This is not a good spot, man. They got us in the hood. You understand what I'm saying? But read it again.
Deuteronomy 7:6. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Most High God says that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, the people on that sign, you're supposed to be above all people that he created on the earth. But are we above all people? So what happened to us? What went wrong? Deuteronomy 28:15. You said slavery? Hey, you a smart young man. Yes, sir. How old are you, by the way? 18? Yeah, you a smart young man. They trying to take slavery out of schools. You understand? Because that's the only thing that really can identify the chosen people of God and the people that's in the land today. But I'm gonna prove it to you. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So this is Moses. He's giving a future prophecy. He said, this thing that I'm about to tell you, it's gonna happen. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you don't listen to the voice of the Lord, your God, not everybody's God, but your God. If you don't listen, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Some of the commandments.
To do all his commandments.
Did it say we had to do a few of the commandments or some of the commandments? What did it say? All the commandments. But we go to church on the wrong day of the week. And the fourth commandment say go on Saturday, the Sabbath day. And they go on Sunday, which is the first day. All the commandments we're supposed to be keeping. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these blessings,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it said, if you, black man, don't listen to the voice that I'm telling you and do all the commandments, all these curses gonna come upon you. Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. For instance, what you're looking at is a curse from God. They had us on auction blocks, selling us. They used to rip our clothes off and be like, hey, this brother here got muscles and stuff. He'll bring you in a lot of money. You should take him. This woman is shaped kind of nice. You can have sex with her whenever you want. This is what they were doing to our people. You understand? They still doing it today when you say sports, right? Look at Cardi B and them rapping about WAP. They love to see our black women on TV half naked. They want the youth to come up and do the same thing. They want single parent households. They want the abortion clinics to keep being lucrative, right? Only to your community, right? They want us to destroy ourselves. But let's keep going. Read.
Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
The so-called black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman. You are cursed in the city. That's what I was just showing you. Any of the worst parts of Shreveport right now, Bossier, Shreveport, Louisiana, anywhere, the worst parts, the hood, the ghetto, the slums, we live there because we've been put there by our oppressors. Keep going.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And we were cursed in the field. In 1619, when we got off those cargo slave ships, they had us in the field picking sugar cane, tobacco, cotton. We were cursed in the field. Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And cursed shall we be in the field. But I know you're in a hurry, so watch this. How did we get here from where we come from? Deuteronomy 28:6. Nah, verse 48 first. How we get here, you think? Son, we did what? We was free? Yeah, how we get here? Because we wasn't originally in America. How we get to America? So watch this. You say I know they're trying to take it out of schools, but did we fly on a plane and get here? Did we take a train? A boat, right? Deuteronomy 28:6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee unto Egypt again.
So it says God is going to send the Israelites into Egypt again. You familiar with the Bible a little bit? You ever remember Moses went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go? You remember that? In Exodus? So, just in case you don't remember, I'm going to run it because I know you're trying to, you're in a hurry. The children of Israel were in the land of Egypt where pyramids are and the Sphinx and all that. We were over there in slavery to Pharaoh. And Moses went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. And the Most High God plagued Pharaoh and they let us go. But God says, I'm going to send the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I'm going to send you back into Egypt or slavery again with what?
With ships.
With ships. That's our history. That's how we got here. But let's see what happened when we got off the ships. Read up.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The same way Moses said we was going to go into slavery on cargo slave ships, that's the same way it happened. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And the it is our homeland, Jerusalem or Africa. We never saw our homeland again. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
We were sold into our enemies. The people that bought us and raped us and killed us, they weren't our best friends. They were our enemies according to God. Read.
For bondmen,
slave man,
and bond women,
and slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
And nobody bought us and set us free. They bought us and raped us, robbed us, killed us, stole our land, stole our last name. Matter of fact, what's your last name, by the way? Baker, that's your oppressor's last name. There was nobody in Jerusalem by the name of Baker, right? We spoke Greek, Hebrew, Latin. We spoke languages of that nature. No Jones, Smith, or Harris, none of that was going on. But Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. So we got here on slave ships, but I'm going to show you one more thing before you run away. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
God says we're going to serve our enemy, right? Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness.
So it says in hunger, thirst, and nakedness. Right now, if you want something to eat, if you want some clothes on your back, if you want something to drink, where would you have to go and get it from? The store. Who owned the store? Like Raceway, for instance. Who you think owned that store? Somebody look like you and me? So-called East Indians, they own most of the Raceway franchises, but you can ride down the street that way or that way, and the Arabs own the stores. You can go across town and a white man own the store. You can go across the other way, and some Africans still own stores. But people that look like me and you, we don't have stores. Why is that? Because we black? Because God put curses on us. We're at the bottom of society. He put the other nations on top of us. But keep going.
And in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Hey, it says that want of all things, man. If you want anything, a birth certificate, a death certificate to get your insurance policy, a driver's license, anything that you can think of, a passport to leave this place, you got to go to your enemy for that thing. You can't come to me. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
That same enemy that you got to go to for everything, at one point in time, he put yokes of iron on our neck. If you Google yoke of iron right now, your picture's going to come up, right? A white man's not going to come up. Only us. Read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
And we destroyed when he took the yokes of iron off, because now we don't know who we are. We don't know we the chosen people of God. We don't know that we are brothers, right? We should love each other like we love ourselves. We don't know that. Now we call our women hoes, thoughts, bees. Nobody else does that. Now our women are destroyed. They wear underwear in public and put other people's hair in their head. You understand what I'm saying? But you got any questions? I know you're trying to run away. You got any questions, anything before we move forward? Not really? So I got a question for you. For instance, when the police shoot us down, Zechariah 11:5, when the police shoot us down and they go to court, what do the verdict, what's the verdict normally? Do they go to jail or what happens? They go to jail? Not really. Not often. Every blue moon they might go to jail. Most time they hold themselves not guilty. You remember that? Like Trayvon Martin got shot by George Zimmerman, Philando Castile got shot by the cop. They didn't do no time. They dismissed the trials, right? Let's see why that keeps happening to us. Read what you got.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 4. Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
We are the flock being led to be slaughtered, right? Read.
Whose possessors slay them.
Our possessors are the so-called other nations. They own us right now, right? We're in captivity. Our last name is their last name. Read.
Whose possessors slay them.
Kill them.
And hold themselves not guilty.
This is a curse from God that keeps happening to our people only. It's not happening to the white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man. They're not getting shot by the police and the police don't do no time. They know better. They go and use tasers or any other force other than using a gun. But the first thing they use on you is a gun, because you are the chosen people of God.
That's right.
But you got any questions, man? I know you're trying to run. So watch this, Deuteronomy 10:12, before you go. Because now that you know that you are Israelite, God's chosen people, we went into slavery on ships, we're supposed to be above all people. Now that you know that, read.
Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So what, now that you know that you're Israelite, what do God want you to do, right? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
We're supposed to be keeping the commandments of God. This is how you repent, by keeping the commandments of God. You ever been to church? What day of the week you went to church on? Sunday. What day are we commanded to go on? I know I already said it, but on Saturday. So why are all these churches why are all these people going to church on the wrong day of the week? Why do you think that is? Isaiah, was that 29 and 12? Why are we going to church on the wrong day of the week, you know? Watch this, I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, Daniel 7:25, that's even better. I'm going to show you something. Because God already know who was going to run the world. And this is what he did when he got into power. Watch this. Daniel 7:25.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
So that same he that put yokes of iron on your neck, that's on the front of that fly, the same person that put us in slavery, he thought to do what?
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
He wore us out. We are the saints of the Most High God. He wore us out in slavery. Read.
And think to change times and laws.
And he thought, hey, I'm going to change times and I'm going to change laws. For instance, with the months, it was only 10 months in the beginning. Now we have 12. Like December is what number month? It's the 12th month, right? But if you break down the word December, DEC stands for decimal, means 10, right? It's the 10th month. I got a dictionary over there. If you look it up, December was the 10th month. January and February came later. You know what I'm saying? And they say the new year begins in the dead of winter. It's cold right now. They say it's New Year's, right? But yet, New Year is springtime, new growth, right? Butterflies are out, vegetables are growing, right? April, right? March and April, that's really the new year. But read that part again.
And think to change times and laws.
He thought to change laws. For instance, 2 men can get married now legally, right? God says they're not supposed to get married. This same person that did all this bad said that 2 men can get married. He changed laws, right? For instance, going to church on Saturday was a law. He said, nope, don't go to church on Saturday, go to church on the first day of the week, which is Sunday, right? Because he want to keep you at the bottom. But go to back to Isaiah 29 and I think it's 12, I believe. Smooth words. Watch this.
Yes, sir.
So watch this. 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and 13. Smooth words. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 10. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
That's not what I wanted, but it's close enough. But they go to church on the wrong day of the week. Our people, they love doing it because they say what?
Prophesy not unto us right things.
They don't want you to go to church and tell us right things to do. Like, hey man, you know you should marry that woman that you've been sleeping with. We don't want to hear nothing like that. We want to go and hear smooth words. Keep going.
Speak unto us smooth things.
Smooth words. I want you to sing and dance, man. I want to wear nice clothes and feel holy. I want to play Christian music real loud when I come here. And when I leave, I want to turn WAP on. That's our mind frame. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits. Get you out of the way.
They said they want to be prophesying deceits. Now, for instance, December 25th, what's that? What kind of holiday that is? Christmas, right? Who birthday? Supposed to be Jesus' birthday, right? But in the Bible, Colossians 2 and 8, that's cool. In the Bible, Jesus was born in the springtime, around Passover, right? Not in the dead of winter. What does a tree have to do with Jesus? Because on December 25th, they're going to make sure they have that tree in their house and they're going to decorate it. What do that tree have to do with Jesus? Nothing, right? What does a rabbit have to do with eggs on Easter? If Easter is supposed to be about Christ waking up, rising up from 3 days from being dead and rising up again, what do a rabbit have to do with eggs? You know? Nothing. Let's see.
Okay. The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So this is a warning from Paul. He said, beware. Like if you see a dog or something, there's a sign that say beware. He's warning you. Beware. Lest what?
Lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Not just any man, but the so-called white man. Who's ever in power right now, beware of that man. Read.
Spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Vain deceit. Because they already know that these holidays have nothing to do with God. They know that God doesn't want you to celebrate that, but they keep pushing it on us. Keep going.
After the tradition of man, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
It don't have nothing to do with Christ, right? We are the chosen people of God. We got to get back to doing what God requires of us. You understand? Okay, watch this. Read what you got.
The book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
So, we're reading about the Passover, which is in the springtime when you look it up, around March or April, depending on when the full moon. Keep going.
And when he was 12 years old,
but this year it lined up perfect because Christ turned 12 years old around this year as the Passover. Read.
they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
So, just showing you that Jesus was born around Passover. He wasn't born in the dead of winter like everybody's been teaching us.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.